There are rich men, and then there's Dan Bilzerian. He didn't just flex his wealth, he weaponized it. Wild parties, private jets, women, guns, yachts, and a beard that became a brand.
I want to live right now where I can do whatever the I want. Nobody tell me what to do.
But here's the twist. Behind the filters, girls, and the smoke, there was a big fat lie. Dan has big daddy issues.
It sucked, man. You got to go to school and all these kids are making fun of you and your dad's going to jail. It's like I was kind of traumatizing moment.
His father, Paul Bilzerian, was also convicted of securities fraud in the 90s. Dan was expelled from high school for bringing a gun to campus, tried and failed to become a Navy SEAL, and then he found poker.
Tamayo wins the pot and knocks off Dan Bilzerian.
One venture capitalist down, one to go.
He says he made tens of millions playing underground games, but to this day no one can verify those wins.
In college, my brother taught me how to play poker, and went broke my sophomore year, and then started to figure it out, and kind of never looked back since.
Who was real? The Instagram? By 2014, he exploded on social media.
So at any point, if this guy says all in, I got to make a decision for $18 million, so that to me was like probably one of the most stressful periods of time.
Portraying a life most men could only dream of. Jet setting, weapons, luxury, endless parties with models. To his fans, he was living proof that money and masculinity went hand in hand. To others, he was just a digital mirage. He launched Ignite International Brands, a cannabis and lifestyle company. He wasn't just selling CBD, he was selling himself, his mansion, his cars, and his vacations. All branded with Ignite. Even the women were part of the marketing. Investors jumped in, believing they were riding with the next big billionaire.
A lot of kids that grow up rich, they have to, kind of play by their parents' rules or whatever. And so since I just kind of like did my own thing, I didn't have to conform, so.
But behind closed doors, cracks were forming fast because everything was a rental. In 2020, Ignite's own president, Curtis Heffernan, was fired. He then did the unthinkable. He sued Dan and exposed the truth. According to court filings, Dan wasn't a genius entrepreneur. He was renting the $65 million mansion he claimed to own, charging $75,000 paintball fields, yacht rentals, and private jets, all to Ignite. $26,000 to hire models labeled as image promotion. $200,000 a month for a house lease. Nearly $900,000 spent in the company funds, all for Dan's lifestyle. And when confronted, Dan didn't back down. He doubled down. I built this brand. I am the brand, he insisted. But the numbers told another story. That same year, Ignite lost $69 million. The stock collapsed. Dan tried comparing Ignite to Uber. They lose money too, he argued. But Uber wasn't throwing mansion parties during a pandemic. The media turned. Followers began to unfollow in droves. Dan's perfect image shattered. Then came the bombshell. His own father, Paul Bilzerian, was reportedly running Ignite from the shadows. A man banned for life by the SEC was quietly pulling the strings. Thousands of emails from Paul to company surfaced. Suddenly, Ignite's shady finances weren't just about Dan's exes. They were a ticking legal time bomb. In 2024, Dan did the unthinkable. He filed a $50 million lawsuit against his own father, accusing him and others of conspiring to remove him from the company he himself founded. The man who built his fame on being untouchable was losing control. Now, Dan Bilzerian is trying to reinvent himself, launching a new venture called Sigma Society. He claims to teach men how to be real men, self-help books, masculine guidance, online mentorship. But people aren't buying it, not like they used to. Many see this not as redemption, but as another chapter in the same story, selling fantasies built on illusions. The parties are gone, the Instagram engagement is fading, and the Playboy King now looks more like a desperate salesman than a billionaire maverick. So the real question is, was Dan Bilzerian even real, or was he just the loudest player in a game nobody was supposed to win? From poker tables to courtrooms and from champagne showers to SEC lawsuits, Dan Bilzerian lived like a king, but in the end, even kings fall. And when the smoke clears, all that's left is the truth. Watch this video next, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers.
No!